Greetings, everybody. This is All Things Cheryl, aka 52, but basically All Things Cheryl because that's the name of my channel. I'm here to do another video, another review of Queen Sugar episode 10. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about awareness. And where the awareness is basically coming from, the awareness is coming from Nova. Nova is finally getting it. We know that Nova is basically missing her family, so basically Nova decided that she gonna go to the diner. And she knows that her auntie, Aunt Violet, basically told Nova, I don't want to see you. Don't step into my space. Don't even come near me. But basically Nova gonna be Nova. Nova's sitting there in the diner, and Aunt Violet is basically being real cool, real chilled out. She's doing her hostess kind of thing, making sure that her clients is comfortable. She sees Nova and she says, Nova, why are you squatting in my diner? Didn't I told you that you weren't welcome? And so this is when Nova says, look, here's the deal. I love my family. I miss my family. And basically, I don't want you to give up on me. Now, remember, Aunt Violet, you basically prayed, I think it was last week or week before last, you prayed to the higher power, to a higher spirit, to your God of your understanding that you wanted him or her to basically protect her, even though you know that your niece is stubborn and hard-headed. And so Nova began to have the conversation, and her auntie basically finally decides that, okay, I'm going to give you the benefit. I'm going to, take time out, and I'm going to listen to what you have to say. And so basically Nova began to apologize and said that she's sorry as to basically, what she did when it came to writing some of the story that had to deal with Aunt Violet. And basically Aunt Violet actually asked Nova this question. She said, Nova, had you came to me and I told you no, now mind you, the word is no, would you still have wrote the book? Now Nova was basically kind of looking dumbfounded, and that expression on Nova's face said, yeah, I basically would have wrote it anyway. And so Nova and Aunt Violet had this conversation. Meanwhile, while they're at the diner, we see Micha and we see Blue. And we see Darla. Now, Darla is basically preparing Blue to have a day hanging out with his cousin, Mike. So, Blue and Michael basically goes to the park, and they go to basically hang out at the park. Now, while they're basically hanging out at the park, Darla gets a call from her mother. Now, her and her mother, they're all right, but really her mother is basically very controlling, and she basically lets Nova know that one of her best friends, basically that she, went to school with, was basically in her neck of the woods. And the mother basically liked this particular friend that Darla was hanging out, but Darla was at a level where she really didn't really want to be bothered with her. She basically, and somewhat told her mother that she was busy, but she basically went on and she took the number down. Now, we see Darla is basically at this restaurant. But we also see Blue and Micha basically having a wonderful time at the park. Micha basically took Blue and they're taking pictures, and Blue is doing all kinds of, poses and everything. And Micha stopped to basically show Blue the pictures that he had basically taken of him so far. And Blue was basically really, really excited about how the pictures looked, and he wanted Micha to send the pictures to his father, so his father could send the pictures to the shell. I think it's the shell. Might be pronouncing it, but I think it's the shell. And so his best friend could get a picture of him. And so this is when Micha and Blue basically had an interesting conversation, which I felt that was really, really good. And this is when Micha asked Blue, or Blue told Micha, that his father really, really, really liked dark chocolate. I call it dark chocolate, sweet chocolate. And he really, really likes her, likes her. And this is when Micha asked Blue, well, how do you feel about that? And this is when Blue proceeded to tell Micha that he gets sad sometimes, and he really doesn't. He gets sad. And this is when Micha basically told Blue, he said, well, I remember when my mother and father basically broke up and they began to see different people. And he said, I really wasn't too cool with the fact that, but eventually I kind of sort of gotten over it. And he begins to tell Blue, he says, well, you know what? The best part of this, that the fact that your father is beginning to have another relationship, is that you get to do things twice. You get to have 2 birthdays. And then he went on and he said, and when I get ready to graduate, I'm going to have 2, gifts, from one from my mom and one from my dad. And then this is when Micha said she get birthday gifts, and Blue said, well, you know what? Gifts, it's pretty cool. And so this is when Micha says, well, tell you what, Blue, whenever you get sad or anything like that, and you really want to sit down and have a conversation with it, you can basically call me and we can basically have a conversation. And so he asked Blue, would he basically do that? And Blue said, yeah, he would do that. And so in the meantime, we see that Charley has basically came into the restaurant where Nova was, because basically Nova was basically waiting for Charley. And so Charley basically had a birthday present for Nova, and she wanted to give it to her ahead of time. And this is when Nova says, well, my birthday is not until like next week, but I don't think my birthday is going to be that much due to, basically what she did about writing the book. And so Charley says, well, I don't want to give you this, is because before I actually hit the trail again, before I get on, doing the campaign about the highway and everything, I wanted to give you this before before I get real busy. And so this is when Charley proceeded to, one moment, I need to do something. I'm going to pause this video for a minute. And the reason why I'm going to pause this video for a minute is because I'm going to put the speaker in my speakers to kind of sort of drown out some of this noise. So let's see if I get this right. Hopefully I do. Okay, we're back. I'm probably going to have to edit it. But basically, we left off of where Nova and Charley was basically at the restaurant, and this is when Charley told Nova that she's gonna take some time out, and that she's going to take a little trip. And this is when she basically asked Nova, did she, basically wanted to come. And so, of course, Nova is basically, she's not going to turn an opportunity to basically bond with Charley. Then we go on, and we're in the park, right? And they're still chilling in the park. And so we go to the restaurant where Darla meets up with her best friend. I think her best friend is Jen. I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong. If I am, put it in the comments. And this is when we proceeded to have the conversation. And the old friends catching up with what's going on. And we can actually see that her particular friend is a really rich, basically how she looks. She's very light-skinned. And so this is when she begins to tell Darla that she's thinking about moving, to, I think it's New Orleans or Louisiana. I think it's New Orleans. I might be wrong. And then she asks this, Darla says, basically, how do you like it here? And that basically Darla says, well, you know what, I like it. It's very slow for me. And so this is when her friend begins to talk about the olden days. And so this is when she, began to talk about how Darla was basically taking a break from Ralph Angel. So apparently her and Ralph Angel were together, but they kind of sort of was giving each other some space. And so she said, well, remember when you and we got together and we went to this party and we met this guy, I forgot the name of the guy, name and everything. But anyway, she said we were really lit, we were carrying on, we did all kinds of stuff. We had Jello, those Jello shots, and we kind of smoked, kind of, drunk, and we did everything. We were lit. And then this is when she said that you really went for it. You basically, you were making out with this particular guy, and you did it in front of everybody. You did it in front of the public. And so this is when Darla basically, you could see the expression on her face. And then when a friend went on and to explain it a little bit further, she says, not only did you do that, but after you finished with that particular person, after y'all went upstairs, and then you came back downstairs, and then you went into the bathroom with another guy, and you went there for it, and you stayed there for at least about 30 minutes or maybe or even an hour. And she said you were basically lit up. Now, this is where the cinematography comes up with cream sugar. You can see basically the expression on Darla's faces, because the cameras, in terms of when you go to film school, you learn how they pan in and they do like very close up to give you that drama and to give you to let you see and feel how the particular character was feeling and how the particular character was and let me tell you, Darla did her thing. We could see that basically Darla had basically told her friend that she didn't remember none of this stuff, what was going on. None of it was going down. And she didn't remember it. And I'm saying to myself, And so this is when Darla got up and her friend says, are you okay? Are you kind? And Darla stormed out and came out of the restaurant, and then right across the street was a bar. I said, you are some kind of friend. You are some kind of friend. You literally sat there and watched your friend being sodomized and raped. You was accomplice of a person, of a woman who was raped. Now, that was effed up. I was like, are you kidding me? You sat there and you watched your friend being raped by these guys, and you didn't say anything. You thought it was fun. You thought it was lit up. And Darla didn't know anything. Apparently, she was blanked out. She couldn't remember anything. She said she remembered. All of a sudden, we saw Darla basically go to this bar, go inside, and sit down at the bar, and tap down at the bar. And then all of a sudden, we see Darla. It's something about brown liquor. I don't know what it is about brown liquor, but she stepped throwing it back. Stop throwing it back. Stop throwing it back. Stop throwing it back. And then that's when we began to see that Darla got messed up. All that work basically she went into, she didn't really do anything last week, because basically we thought that she was going to crack that bottle, crack that top, but she didn't do it. But this time, this basically pushed her over the top. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what I would have done. I think I probably may have done the same thing to kind of numb, to kind of sort of numb what I was hearing, and to kind of sort of just, I can't even explain it. And so we go on and we find out that while Darla was basically in the bar, basically getting messed up, we see that Nova and Charley is basically in the car, and Charley basically thanked Nova for basically taking care of her, and basically apologizing publicly about basically, basically what she did, and how she, portrayed her sister in the book. And so while they are basically riding, this is when we find out that Queen Sugar will not be able to rebuild itself, is because the insurance company will not let them rebuild it. And so this is when Charley basically tells Nova that she can't, they won't let her rebuild it. They won't, the insurance won't kick up. And so she has to find a way of where to prove that the brochures and the lounges and old world energy has something to do with them basically burning down the mill. And so this is when Nova says old world energy. That sounds like they're up to something. And then this is when Nova says to Charley, she said, now, you know that I'm still a journalist. And I'm like, yeah, we know you're still a journalist. We know that you can basically dig and find stuff out when you want to, when it benefits you. So Charley didn't really say anything. Charley didn't really take her up on that offer. She basically listened to, what Nova was facing. In the meantime, we over at the diner, and we see Aunt Violet is having some difficulties and challenges when it comes to technology. When I say technology, basically has a watch that basically, let you walk to keep, time, or how many steps you do when you're exercising. So basically, she was trying to, set that, but she really didn't really know how to set it. And so the young fellow who's working off his debt told Aunt Violet that he basically knew how to do it. And so Aunt Violet says, well, I know how to do it, I don't know. And then she says, well, okay. And then this is when Aunt Violet let the young fellow basically set the watch for her. And then this is when he went on and proceeded to tell Aunt Violet that you can check your email with your watch. And Aunt Violet said, I ain't really into that. Just give me the basics. So here's the deal. Especially with people who don't want to deal with technology. Especially with seniors, I'm considered a senior also, who don't want to move on to technology. You can't get around it, you gotta learn it. I mean, old school means that you want basically the things to stay the same. And really, it's not going to stay the same. It means that you don't want change. And we have to move on into the change. So, you and Valley might as well get with the program. You're going to have to learn how to do that technology. And so we go on. And we see that Blue is basically chilling and hanging with his uncle. I mean, not his uncle, his cousin. And he had to go to the bathroom. So Blue says, look, I gotta go to the bathroom. I can't hold myself anymore. So they stop where Blue could basically go to the bathroom. And so this is when Micha said, well, Blue, do you want me to go to the bathroom with you? And this is where Blue says, no, I don't want you to go to the bathroom with me. I can basically go on my own. I'm big enough. And Micha, you should have went to the bathroom with the boy. No matter whether or not he's big enough or whatever. These days and times, there's a bunch of crazy people running around. Should have went into the bathroom. Basically, Michael lost Blue. And how he lost Blue is that he got distracted because he received a text message from Kiki. And the text message was stating that his friend Aunt was coming out of juvie. So he took the time out to basically retext and answer Kiki's text message. And so this is when Micha had discovered that his attention span, it should have been on Blue, but it was really on the text message. And just that second, he lost eyesight of Blue. And so Blue basically came out of the bathroom, and the reason why he went into the girls' bathroom, because the boys' bathroom or the men's bathroom was crowded, and it was a line. I said, that's kind of strange. A line in the men's bathroom? The men's bathroom line is always empty. Me personally, and this is just me, if the men's bathroom is don't have a lot of people, because we know it's always a line for the women's bathroom, I'll go into the men's bathroom. Ain't no thing, because basically when you're at home, everybody uses the same bathroom, so I don't know what the big difference is. I go there. And so this is when Blue basically finds the police, and the police officer sees Blue's kind of basically wandering around. And so he asks Blue, are you alright? What's going on? And so this is as Blue said, I lost my cousin. I don't know, exactly where he is. Until this is when the police officer says, okay, cool, don't worry about it. Why don't you, come with me, get into the police car. Now, I don't know whether or not if Blue should have got in the back of the police car, because he's basically was in the back. I don't know how I feel about Blue being in that back. I think that he should have just kind of stayed outside, beside the police, beside the car, and in that way I don't think it would have been such a big to do. But finally Michael sees Blue in the back of the police car, and so apparently without really thinking, Michael basically go and he rushes towards Blue to try to connect. And then this is when the police officer said, oh, whoa, wait, we need to just chill, wait. And then this is when Michael, and then I think Michael's kind of sort of is still dealing from the fact that in season 1 that he was a little roughed up a little bit, and he's still feeling the repercussions of it. And so the police officer says, whoa, wait a minute, let me see some ID before I let the baby go. And so this is when Michael Pacific would say, what do you want to see my ID for? I don't have to show you no ID until. This is when the police officer was getting a little bit irritated, because Michael was basically being kind of aggressive towards the police. And I'm thinking, okay, Michael, this basically show the man the ID. Even though you don't think you should show it. But really, it's really for the safety of Blue and you, and to making sure that he's just not letting, even though you say he's your cousin or anybody could say that. And so this is when Micah decided to kind of calm himself down, and this is when he threw his hands up like this. He says, Blue, it's okay, it's okay. And then this is when a police officer says, Blue, is this your cousin? And he says, yes, this is my cousin. Now, I think why Micah basically, got kind of aggressive, because police officer did grab his gun. He did. And you know how they feel about black men and white men. They get kind of scared. I don't know why. We should be scared of them, because they the one shooting and killing up black men. And so Micah and Blue finally reunite together. In the meantime, we still then we go over to the retreat. We see that Nova and Charley has basically arrived at the retreat, and basically it's a place where you can calm and relax and namaste, let some of the energy go, let God. And this is when Nova asked the lady who was giving them kind of a lay of the land. Nova says, where's the bathroom? And this is when they said, oh, the outhouse is right over here. And I would say, yo, no, you're supposed to be so holistic into nature, and I would think that Charley would be the one who would be basically asking for the bathroom, but it was you. And so we go over and we see that there has been a gathering of the men. When I say a gathering of basically of the men, we see Prosperous, we see Ralph Angel and Hollywood, and they're basically talking about their relationships and the fact that Prosperous is a little bit stuck on Genevieve. And Genevieve is the older woman that he kind of sort of like. And then they go on and they talk about Highwood that has one of the best relationships with the Pies and Vi and all this. And then we go on and we hear about Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel Deshaun or Deshelle, I don't know, but he decided that he wants to be exclusive with her, and he's gonna go on a date. Now, while we are dealing with that, we basically see that, drink some water, we basically see Nova and Charley excuse me, I'm a little thirsty. Nova and Charley walking and communing with nature, right? Communing with nature. And this is when Charley said to Nova, Remy. And then this is Charley says, Remy. And so this is when Nova, told Charley, well, she says, well, I knew that you and Ruby really didn't sleep with each other, and that I really liked him, and I just kind of wanted to be with him. And so this is when Charley asked her this question. She says, why do you act like that? Why do you do what you do? And this is when Nova says, I really don't know. I really, really don't know. And so then this is when Charley asks the question. She says, well, it seems to me that you rather go ahead and basically do and suffer the consequences and do what it is you're not supposed to do, and then you do it anyway, and then you go and you apologize for basically what you do. She says, how is that working out for you? And so then this is when Nova began to understand that, that is kind of sort of a trait of hers. She just do whatever she wants to do, and really, Nova does not like the word no. To her, no is kind of sort of bucking, her her flow, her moving about, her not doing what she is free for her, a free-minded person. She doesn't want anything to kind of get in the way. And so Charley was like, so we go on, and finally, we get in and we see that Ralph Angel and Blue has basically got back from their retreat. And Blue's gonna spill the tea. Blue spilled the tea and let everybody know that he was in a police car. And at first, everybody was basically shocked. And they was like, and then Ralph Angel said, "You were what?" And then that's when everybody kind of calmed down, because I thought that Ralph Angel was basically going to go ballistic, but he didn't. He didn't go ballistic. He basically kind of, calmed himself down and listened to exactly what was going on and how Micha lost a brief second of Blue. And so this is when Prosperous went on and he says, well, basically you can't really allow anyone to break your joy in so many words. He said something else, but I can't really remember. He said something else, and he basically said, you need to go home, go on and live your life. Now, while we're basically dealing with the men talking about living your life, Aunt Violet is basically out doing her thing, basically trying to get healthy, trying to exercise and things like that, honor herself. She runs into Darla, and at first she didn't really pay it any mind, and then she looked at it again, and she noticed that it was Darla, and Darla was toe down to toe down. And Darla, and then Aunt Violet says, Darla, are you all right? And Darla says, I'm here to pick up Blue. And then this one, Violet says, Blue is not at this park. He's at the city park. And then this is Nova says, you know what? Let me basically go with you and take you home. And then this is when Darla says, well, I'm not really here. I need to get Blue. And then Aunt Violet says, okay, well, let's go get Blue. Let's go get Blue. This is when Violet basically take Darla home, and this is when Darla began to tell Aunt Violet basically what she had learned from her best friend. And then this is when we find out that Jimmy Dale basically was raping Aunt Violet without her permission. And she told Darla that no basically means no, no matter what the situation is, whether it's a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. And that's basically no. No means no. No does not mean yes. It means no. And so we go on and we see that Nova and Charley is still bonding, trying to understand what is the difference between the two of them. And this is when we hear two different stories as to how Charley felt about Nova and how Nova felt about Charley. Basically, we learned that Charley had invited Nova to a party, and basically Charley basically left Nova at a party, and then Nova basically heard Charley over saying her friends that that was her half sister, and that she does not have, it's the making of a family, a different family or something. And so this is also when Nova said, you left me with all these people with these yuppie, Ralph Lauren clothes and all of that. And then this is when Charley went on and told Nova that that was not her intent, that was not her purpose. She basically wanted to share and show Nova. And then this is when Nova said, well, you show me all of these things because you thought, or I couldn't afford any of these things. And you, in my mind and in my opinion, you always look down on me. And I also find myself looking down on basically you. So, in other words, what Charley basically was saying to was, she said that, the more that, we get, the more I understand that we really don't know each other at all. And so we go on, and we see that Aunt Valley has basically has asked and called Ralph Angel and tell Ralph Angel to come over to Darla and come like now and come by yourself. And so, of course, Ralph Angel goes over and find out what's going on, and we see that they're sitting down. And Ralph Angel said, "What's the deal? I'm kind of scared of what is going on." And then this is when Darla proceeded to tell Ralph Angel exactly, basically what happened to her the night that Blue was conceived. And so this is when Ralph Angel started telling and basically crying and letting Darla know that it was not her fault, it was not her fault, it's not her fault. And so this is when our Violet basically left and left the two of them together. And so um, we Ralph Angel basically watched over her, he spent the night and everything. Now he basically forgot that he had a date with Michelle, or the young lady that he basically wanted to have an exclusive relationship with. And he told Darla that she needs to get some rest. And he spent the night and he slept on the couch or whatever. And then Darla basically woke up. Okay, writers, I'm not feeling what you are about to do. You are about to separate a relationship that I think that's basically is good for Ralph Angel, but you're going to put him back with the dysfunctional person by simply, um, but that by simply, but anyway, the fact that Darla finds out exactly how Blue was conceived, and the woman, the best friend, told how Blue was conceived, that basically messed with me. If I was Darla, when I got myself together, I would sue the crap out of her. I really would. Okay, look guys, this is my review of Micha, and I hope everything is well and everything will go well with you. Until the next review, and remember, love is basically for everyone, and basically stay humble. Click, subscribe, share the video, and hit the notification. Until the next time, peace and